Good morning and welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley, and I am Matt Watson. Welcome in. It is great to have you. You chose a great day to join us. We have a great show for you. We are with you for 2 hours on this Friday morning, here to help you kick off your weekend. That's right. It is Friday, and we are fired up. It's going to be a great weekend. It's Super Bowl weekend, the weekend that all the rest of the New Year's resolutions go to die. So I'm glad you joined us. Like I said, we've got a great show for you. Our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you by SCVI and ILead Schools. We're a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster, and we've also got a fully accredited online school and a burgeoning homeschool program, ILead Exploration. We're actually going to be hearing from our online school a little bit later in the show. Visit ileadschools.org for more information on our schools. So, we've got our eye on education in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but like our show says, we also keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we do it all while having a lot of fun. If you know me, you know I refuse to do anything unless I can laugh while I'm doing it. Kind of makes family funerals a little awkward, but hey, we like to have a good time. So join us, won't you? On today's show, we welcome in Ivan Volshenk and Peter Warda from the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. It's been a rough year for all of us, we know, but it's been rough on businesses in particular, and we'll check in with Ivan and Peter to see how our local businesses are doing. Later on in the show, we'll meet Jeanne McNiff-Hendzlik. That one's going to be trouble for me, Patty. Jeanne is an academic coach. She is the CTE coordinator and a kindergarten teacher with our school, ILead Online. And if you know your education, you know that is a lot for one person. And then later on in the show, we'll close it out with my big brother, Big T, for his 5 minutes of fame. Big T is always coming with the laughs. So let's go ahead and get started. My first guest today come to us from Evolve Business Strategies, managing partner Ivan Volshenk and vice president Peter Warda. The Evolve team has overseen the management and operations of the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber for nearly 3 years now. They're a dedicated team of business professionals that have provided consistent leadership, making the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber one of the top chambers in the LA County. And we're about to find out how. Gentlemen, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Morning. Thank you.
Happy to be here. It's good to have you both. Thank you both for joining us. So for our listeners that might not be as familiar, can you start by telling us a little bit about the Chamber? What does a Chamber of Commerce do? And then in particular, what does the Chamber of Commerce of the Santa Clarita Valley do to help businesses in our community?
Sure. So I first want to just congratulate you on getting my last name correct. Not many people achieve that, so well done. A Chamber of Commerce is a federation of businesses, industrial and professional firms that work together to enhance the economic and socioeconomic health of their community. It's a nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, voluntary membership, invests time and money to carry forward programs relevant to members' needs and that affect the orderly growth and development of the community. It is the catalytic agency that brings together all of the forces, both public and private, through which common goals can be resolved. The mission of the Chamber is to promote a favorable business climate for our membership and our community, to work on issues of community interest and provide business leadership for improvement of the economic, political environment and quality of life of Santa Clarita.
Okay, so it's not just business. So is membership limited to business owners and business leaders? Who can be a member of the Chamber?
So anyone can be a member of the Chamber. It is designed to be a membership business organization.
Okay.
We obviously have a lot of nonprofits that join the Chamber as well. We help them in various ways as well. We have a nonprofit council specifically dedicated to them. But if any individual wants to join the Chamber, they're more than welcome to join the Chamber. There are certain benefits that they would find, but it is ultimately designed for, a business.
Okay. So I understand the membership, and you guys are working to advance businesses. Like all, most cities and towns and local areas have their chambers of commerce. But I've lived in this valley for a long time, and particularly over the last few years, uh, community members just rave about our Chamber of Commerce, the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, about how amazing it is. So, what is it that makes our chamber so unique or special?
I would say it's because of those same business leaders. Strong chamber is dependent on all the active participation of the businesses and political agencies in the valley. We're very fortunate to have very strong community leaders that support the chamber, and the city of Santa Clarita and the county who are very strong supporters as well of the business community. And everyone's looking for best results to keep Santa Clarita as one of the most business-friendly places in the United States. So it's definitely a team effort, and we couldn't do it without the support, obviously, of everybody.
Gosh, you're right about that. We've got some great businesses, great community leaders here in our community, and that's, I guess it's kind of just that reflection of the community, if you will. Now, I know that most of your focus is on supporting businesses, but you also work very hard to help out individuals in the business world. So, what types of services do you offer to support individuals in the business community?
Yeah, we obviously receive a lot of inquiries from people looking for services within our community. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just, either moving into the valley or looking for a plumber, a lawyer. So they contact us. We direct them to our directory, which has all of our chamber members with their contact details. One of the interesting things is obviously people tend to trust people and businesses more when they are members of their local chamber. Because it shows civic responsibility and sends a message that that business operates using sound business practices and is a leader in the valley. There are studies that show as well that more people will support a chamber member over non-chamber members for those reasons. We also publish an annual guide which lists chamber members and is used by people moving to Santa Clarita to find services, so it helps them that way.
Sure.
Specifically over the last year or so, we've opened up a lot of our programming to the whole community. We've done various topics from health webinars to mental health webinars. Specifically, we had one Wednesday on the vaccine. Next week, we're having one on asking the doctors questions. So anybody can join that. It's not just for business owners or people working for a particular business.
So valuable information.
Our Young Professional Council, Next SCV, is also open to anyone under 40 years.
Okay.
Who'd like to meet new people, gain skills to help them improve their careers and meet employers in the valley. So various things that an individual can benefit from the chamber.
Certainly, lots of valuable information for pretty much anybody in the community. I know our schools, SCVI, as well as ILead California, our broader organization, are nonprofit members, and a lot of families come to us telling us that they found us through the Chamber of Commerce. Now, Peter, you had mentioned to me the other day, I believe the Chamber offers a 401k program for local businesses that might not be able to develop a program like that on your own. Can you tell us a little bit about the 401k program that you offer to members?
Yeah, so the 401k, it's one of our most recent benefits that we started offering, or we're getting ready to offer for our members. And pretty much what we're doing is we're making it easier for businesses to not have to worry about shopping for a plan, having to deal with all of that, and it's for them to just come through us. And we're building essentially a 401k plan for the full business community out here. Okay. And what it pretty much will do is be able to have you as a one-stop shop for the chamber, so to say. We're partnering with LBW Insurance and Lincoln Financial. And what's going to happen with the 401k plan and why it's important and why we bring it now, and I think one of the things that touches on are what makes our chamber unique, sort of say, is because of rules and regulations and us trying to get ahead of them. So one of the things, and because of COVID, this actually got pushed back. Otherwise, beginning June 30th of this year, any business with over 50 employees have to have 401k plan. And then June of next year, 5 or more employees need that plan. So we've pretty much stepped in to have this offer for our members and be able to, again, make it much more easier for them, have a value, have another value for their membership and bring this benefit to support the local businesses and then help them be successful at the same time.
Gosh, that's fantastic, because I know that's something that's an attraction. It's something that you can offer to your employees that would entice them to come work for you. So if a small business owner is able to rely on that program and step in and offer to candidates, hey, we offer a 401k program, that makes their place of work a little bit more attractive to potential employees. So are there eligibility requirements? Do you have to be a certain size or maybe not too big? Who's eligible to participate?
Yeah, so and I'll let Ivan fill in if I miss anything on this one, but essentially anyone's eligible for as long as they're a member of the chamber. We are working on different plans right now based on which membership level you are at with us. But essentially, Matt, no, it's just, if you're a member of the chamber and this is something you want to do, reach out to us and we'll get you all the information that you need.
Well, I definitely know, like I said, our schools, my employer is a nonprofit member. I'll be reaching out to the boss today to say, hey, call the chamber. Let's hook our employees up with this. We're talking this morning with Ivan Volshenk and Peter Warda with the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. Now's a good time for contact information. So if businesses are interested in getting involved in this 401k program through the chamber or any of the other services that the chamber offers, how do they contact you guys?
Best way to contact us is by email, hello@scv, like Santa Clarita Valley Chamber.com. You can always call the chamber as well, 661-702-6977. And again, both the phones and the emails, Ivan and I are the ones who have access to them. And, we monitor them all the time, just like our own personal emails. So shoot us an email and give us a call and we'll get any information that anybody wants over to them.
Fantastic. And I just want to confirm that's hello@scvchamber.com?
Yes, sir.
Terrific. Now, this has been such a difficult year with businesses being closed, reopened, closed again, having that moving target of requirements placed on them. So what role have you guys played? What role has the chamber played in trying to support businesses during this really difficult year?
I think, and I'll go ahead and start with this, and then I'll let Ivan, again, touch on anything that I missed. But I think one of the things is just being there for them. As Ivan mentioned earlier, some of the programs we've offered and opening it to the full business community. March, the stay-at-home order hit last March, and then within a day, we had already put together a webinar that had county, city, health, law, as well as business resources to the full community. Since then, we've created over, 60 webinars of just original content for businesses and constantly making them aware of what the new update is, what's to come, what to expect, where to find your resources, who to go to, our communications. We've been honestly blasting our not just our membership, but anybody who's on our mailing list with any information. The second there's an update, whether it be from the governor, from the county, get out to the full community and pretty much offering what we know and how for them to access it. We put up a COVID-19 resource page on our website, constantly updating it with local news, constantly updating it with the resources that are available, whether it be, the PPP loans, grants that are being offered, whether it's for the full business community or specific to sectors. There was a grant just for, I believe, restaurants at one point. There were grants for, services, barbers, nail salons, whatever it may be. So I think that's one of the things that we've really strived on is pushing out information as we get it, quickly filtering through it, just seeing what's relevant, what needs to be known, and then just handing it out to the full community out here.
Yeah, I think just to add on what Peter said, there is, especially at the start of the pandemic, we were receiving news on an hourly basis, and it kept on changing. So we had to try and stay on top of that and try and make our communication to the community to be as relevant, up to date, and also easily digestible, because a lot of it was very convoluted and hard to understand. And then also, we obviously try and show all the resources that businesses can use, especially during this time, whether it's the SBDC or various other places that provide support for businesses, as well as Peter said, all the grants, because there have been a lot of grants, loans that have been made available to businesses, and they might not have been aware of those if we hadn't have shared that.
Gosh, you guys are absolutely right. You know, the timeliness and the ease of digestion is so important, because oftentimes, like I said, it seems like every Friday when the governor would come out and announce something new, or maybe the Department of Public Health here in Los Angeles would make a new announcement, everyone would be listening, but then we'd all find ourselves kind of scratching our heads saying, okay, so what does that mean? And for you guys to be so quick to come out with stuff that explains what's going on really helps businesses, because they can't afford to sit there for a couple of days and twiddle their thumbs while they try to sort through things. They've got to be able to respond and take care of their own businesses as well as their employees. Gosh, such a valuable service. Now, last Monday was kind of an exciting day for a lot of folks here, not only in our valley, but around the state of California. The stay-at-home order was lifted by the state public health officials for all regions, including Southern California, meaning that outdoor dining, woohoo, we love our restaurants, personal care services, and several other industries that had remained closed were now able to reopen for business. So what are you guys hearing now? How has this order affected local businesses? How well have they been able to kind of get back online? And then how quickly do you think they'll be able to recover?
So, you know, and I think, for one, what we've heard is obviously, like you said, excitement. A lot of, especially the restaurants out here, having put into their whole plan of outdoor dining when it was first lifted and then having to shut down again. I think one of the things that, you know, we've heard is obviously restaurants kind of figuring out with us what can we do? How long do we think this stay-at-home, this order is going to be lifted for? Is it going to be another couple weeks thing and shut down? So we've been working with them on the internal information that we have on, just go with it, let's open up kind of a thing. It's been a bit. On the other hand, we have, we know that a lot of them kind of kept what they had in the beginning already. So I guess in a good way, if you wanted to look at the glass half full, was their plan was already set since they've already had to do it once.
Right.
Unfortunately, when they got the okay to open, we were in, we had the rain out here. And so it's funny too, because that Thursday was our awards and installation event. And, we had a couple restaurants who were attending our event that called and said, hey, listen, like, we know it's raining, but we got the okay to open. Like, we're going to have to miss this. We're out in the storm putting our tents up.
Right.
We need to do what we need to do to open up. So we've been in talks with a lot of the businesses out here. As far as with their recovery, to be honest, I think their recovery depends on our behavior. It comes to us as consumers and how we follow the rules. So it doesn't affect the business. We look out for our community, not just as the chamber, but as members of the Santa Clarita Valley, as residents out here. We want our businesses to strive as well. We want to be able to go and enjoy their services and whatnot. And so I think as far as them being able to recover, sure, it's on them on how much they can do and what resources are offered. But I think we have a part in that as well as individuals to make sure we're following the rules and, we're abiding by what they're asking us to do to ensure they stay open as well.
You're absolutely right. My motto has always been, I wear my mask because I love Salt Creek Grill. Ivan Volshenk and Peter Warda are two members of the team that manage the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. We've got a lot more to talk about with them, but we've got some things that we've got to take care of right now. But we'll be right back talking to Peter and Ivan. You're listening to SCVI and ILead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themainnewhall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Traffic brought to you by Frontier Toyota. Frontier Toyota reminds you to drive safely. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom on Valencia and Creekside. See their all-new, hot and exciting 2021 Toyota Camry. Frontier Toyota, the Camry Kings.
These days, it's hard to figure out how to fill all the self-isolation time, let alone figure out what to have for lunch or dinner. Salt Creek Grill owner Greg Amsler is helping us out in a big way. Salt Creek is now offering takeout and curbside pickup, so you don't even have to get out of your car. Their entire menu is available for pickup or delivery, including to-go beer and wine. Hey. In addition, Greg's offering wine at 25% off, along with daily specials. If you'd like to buy a gift card for a future visit, now's the time. Buy a $50 gift card and get $10 extra on the card completely free. Buy a $100 gift card, you get an extra $25. Salt Creek Grill, located next to Regal Cinema at the Valencia Mall. For more info, go to saltcreekgrill.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and ILead School's Eye on the Valley, and I am your host, Matt Watson. We're talking this morning with Ivan Volshenk and Peter Warda from Evolve Business Strategies, and they manage the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. Now, guys, some of the local businesses have been affected not only by the pandemic, but we talked a little bit earlier about the weather. We had some cold and rain, but the wind has been nasty lately, and you know, that's something that here in Southern California we do get our Santa Anas, but we're not used to having to deal with the winds. These high winds in late December and throughout January in our valley have affected a lot of folks through the way of public safety power shutdowns, PSTS, something that I'd never heard before, although we've dealt with it. Which was rough on local residents. Tons of folks up in Canyon Country, Saugus area without power for days. But residents weren't the only ones that were affected, right? What have you heard from businesses that found themselves without power? You guys there?
Peter?
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, so PSTS, I think, like you said, Matt, it has always been there, but I think it's something that recently has everyone starting to hear about it. You know, I think one of the things about PSTS is, I think from the, you know, for example, Edison or whichever company, you know, they're doing as much as they can to mitigate as much of the shutoffs as they can. You know, but I think at that same time, like you said, hearing from businesses. I mean, there are businesses out there who operate, for example, heavy machinery, the manufacturing companies out here, and we have quite a few in Santa Clarita.
Right.
If they're not given the proper notice on, on when to shut down, or on the shutdown, for example, and all of a sudden you lose power, all those machines are off the grid, then it could affect long-term. It could affect if the machine starts back up properly, or if it even turns back on, for example. It could cause damage to the equipment, and that becomes an added expense to these companies. On top of that, everyone currently is working on limited capacity as it is, and so with PSTS happening, again, I think there was awareness in the sense of, hey, there's going to be a shutdown, but I don't think, and maybe this is something they're working on, and hopefully for future shutoffs, if we have them, is a little more targeted. Like you said, I live in the Saugus area. My power wasn't shut off, thankfully, but I have, family friends who are down the street from me. They lost power for 3 days.
Right.
We didn't know which one of us would have lost it or not. And so I think, it causes disruptions, and I think we're trying to work with companies to have a better system on how to notify you based on where you are on the grid if you're going to be affected with this shutoff or whichever shutoff is happening.
Yeah, part of the work of the Chamber is obviously to work with those companies, with the city, with the county, state officials on how best to mitigate those things. Nobody wants a huge fire,
right.
Obviously close to their business or their houses to burn, but it needs to be a reasonably enforced, solution. We know that the power companies have done a lot to try and reduce the areas that are shut down, which has been great, but obviously there's still a need to make it a little bit more helpful for people, especially as Peter said, during this limited staffing thing, you're paying people to come to work, and then you just have to send them home as well, which is not helpful.
Or if you're not sure when the power is going to come back on, you don't know if you should send them home or not. And I know Edison is doing the best they can to improve situations, and each incident is an opportunity for them to improve, but it can be a significant challenge. I know our school in Agua Dulce had a kind of a rough go of it, the entire community of Agua Dulce, about a year ago with I believe it was the tick fire up there. Edison had shut down power because of the fire danger. Unfortunately, there was still a fire, and because Agua Dulce is on well water, the lack of power inhibited residents to pump any water from the wells, and so that made it a little bit difficult. Kind of a bright side for us, though. Fortunately, before the fire got too close to the school, because of the power shut off, we had already sent our kids home. Now, I know you guys don't have any legislative power. You guys can't really enact policy or laws or anything like that, but I know you also work closely with lawmakers and policymakers. How do you work with those folks that can enact these laws and policies to improve the landscape for your members?
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, we've got good working relationships with all our local officials, our state, federal officials. We basically are the voice of business for the community. So when we bring something to these legislators, they obviously listen because we've got the backing of the entire business community behind us. Just a few things that, of how effective we are is we've had legislators that have been on the floor before a vote trying to find out what position has the chamber taken on this, what do they see are issues within the legislation or not. So we work closely with them to make them aware of any laws that are in the pipeline, what effect that actually has on businesses, real world effects, not just Sacramento effects.
Sure.
And that has been, especially during this pandemic, been one of the strongest things that we've been doing, because earlier with the different shutdowns, LA County shut down more and we wanted a variance. So we worked closely with the county and the city to allow the variance for Santa Clarita, which was successful. And that was successful also in part from our grassroots advocacy program that we launched during the pandemic called Impact SUV, where anyone can sign up on our petition, and those letters get sent directly to the legislators. And they receive thousands of letters from the Santa Clarita area asking for the variance.
Well, that's terrific. I used the word hub to describe the chamber last break, and I suppose it would go the other way as well. If I were a politician and wanted to know what a large group of my constituents are thinking, especially in the business world, I would go straight to the chamber and say, hey guys, what are you hearing? What do businesses in my district need? So that's a great way for you guys to advocate. So with all these different challenges going on, what kind of general advice would you have for small businesses trying to survive all the different things that we've had to deal with in the last 12 to 18 months?
I think the most important thing is obviously to stay engaged with the community, stay engaged with your membership, your customers, your clients, make them aware that obviously you are still around. I know it's hard when you don't have the finances to do that, but just keeping that contact is probably the most important thing, especially reopening. As Peter said, all the restaurants were very good at communicating when they were reopening and specials that they were having and all of that stuff as well, which I think is very important. Also being aware and, staying focused with the chamber to see what resources there are out there to help you during this time and into the future, specifically with loans, grants, all of those type of things and that as well.
Yeah, speaking of staying engaged, I know you guys keep busy. You've got an event this weekend that's going to be a very important event for a lot of businesses out there. The chamber will be distributing PPE to small businesses. This is stuff that's oftentimes disposable, and businesses can run through it pretty quickly depending on their size. What can you guys tell us about the event you're having this weekend?
Yeah, so I lost the days of the week. Tomorrow, we've partnered with PPE Unite and Supervisor Catherine Barker's office, and we have our PPE Drive, and it's essentially it's funny, I was talking about this with someone, and I said, throughout this whole year, or throughout this whole pandemic, you've heard of drive-through birthdays and baby showers, but who would have thought you would have had a PPE drive-through?
Right.
And we're going to be at Westfield, over in the parking lot on the corner of Magic Mountain and Citrus. And essentially what we're doing is it's going to be a contactless drive-through. You pull up, we pop open your trunk, and we're just going to be handing out PPE to businesses. It's open to not just businesses, but schools, nonprofits, LLCs, whoever, as long as it's under 100 employees. The one thing that we want to stress about it, Matt, is that you have to register for it. Okay. They're not going to allow cars that just show up wanting to get it. You do have to register for it, pick a time slot, and come in at that time. And so again, it's just essentially cars will come by, we'll check you in. We pop open the trunk, again, social distancing and adhering to the rules, and we put the equipment in your trunk, and you're off to go.
Yep. You'll get a 30-day supply as well of PPE.
Okay.
So, even if you have purchased your PPE as a business, knowing that you're going to be reopening, I would take advantage of this regardless, because, that can be used for various things, and it's going to be a long-term thing. We're not going to stop using masks in the next few months anyway, even with the vaccine out there.
Right. Most of this stuff doesn't have a shelf life, so you're going to be able to use it. So it is tomorrow. You said businesses smaller than 100 employees. Do they need to be members in order to participate?
Nope.
No.
Wow, that's fantastic.
It's open to the full community.
That is fantastic, guys. Now, you did mention that that folks need to register. So how do they register?
Yeah, if you just go to ppeunite.org, there's a sign up over on the top right on the website, and then it'll have Santa Clarita Day. You'll just click that one. It's from 11 to 4 o'clock. Register for your time slot, and we'll see you Saturday.
Fantastic. And for our listeners that are listening on Facebook Live, I'm going to go ahead and drop that in the chat there. Again, ppeunite.org, and and look for the Santa Clarita Drive, giving out free PPE to local small businesses. That is fantastic. And that's not the only event you guys have got coming up, is it? What other events and programs do you have coming up?
We can probably do a whole segment on just our events because we're always...
We've got a couple of minutes. You want to hit some highlights?
Right. Yeah. No, I think, I'll touch on a couple. We've launched a series called Pathway to Economic Health. Mm-hmm. It's going to be about a 3 or 4 part webinar series. Ivan mentioned the vaccine facts and myths that we just had on Wednesday, and then we have Ask the Doctors next week. We've just announced our new one for February 17th at 12, and it's Clearing the Air, and it's talking about indoor air quality solutions for businesses. Our Latino Business Alliance is doing a virtual coffee session with Mayor Bill Miranda. That's on the 11th. And then
that's free for anybody to attend as well. One thing we wanted to highlight as well is all our virtual programming is free to our chamber members, and a lot of other programming we've made available to non-chamber members for free or at a minimal cost.
Fantastic.
Sorry, Peter. No worries. That is definitely one thing, Matt, that we want to highlight. So I'm glad Ivan did bring it up. But I think the other thing is that one event that obviously was a huge chamber hit is our Business After Hours Mixer, and we've been able to revamp that into a virtual program. I'm not sure if you've had a chance yet, but real quick, just want to touch on our remote platform that we use. And we stress on that platform because it offers that small group networking, but in a virtual world. So instead of a Zoom where you have 100 screens, you essentially just speak to people who are on your virtual table. So if the 3 of us are sitting there, we only see each other's camera and speak to each other. And then you jump to another table, I disappear from your screen, and I then just see who's at that new table that I go to. So we use this platform for a lot of our programs, but again, especially our after-hours mixers, which are the 3rd Wednesday of every month at 5 o'clock. And so we really, really want to bring this out. We're still working, on top of everything pandemic and COVID related. We are also going as business as usual, trying to network and connect the whole business community, our members, to essentially bring everybody together. And so that's one of our biggest things. And again, we use that platform for a lot of our programs.
Fantastic. And I know you guys have got programs for young professionals. You've got an Empowered Women Network, all kinds of stuff. So make sure that you head on over to scvchamber.com. There's all kinds of stuff for small businesses, nonprofits, like I said, individuals, and you might want to do what I'm going to do a little bit later on and nudge the boss if they are members to get involved in that 401k program. Ivan Volshenk and Peter Warda with Evolve Business Strategies. They keep your SCV Chamber of Commerce ahead of the rest. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, man.
You guys take care. And you stick around. When we come back, we're going to take a fun look at this day in history. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Traffic brought to you by the law firm of Owen Patterson Owen, helping Santa Clarita drivers recover from life-changing accidents for over 3 decades. Owen Patterson Owen, encouraging you to drive safely. Visit opolaw.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and when I invented my pillow, I wanted to have everything you'd ever want in a pillow. You can adjust the patented fill to your exact individual needs. You can wash and dry my pillow. It has a 10-year warranty not to go flat, and it's made in the USA. And now, for a limited time, you can get a queen-size premium My Pillow for the lowest price ever. Regularly $69.98, now only $29.98. That's a $40 savings. I'm also giving you deep discounts on all my MyPillow products, including my bed sheets, mattress toppers, and bath towels. Buy now and I'll extend my 60-day money-back guarantee to March 1st, 2021.
Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
If you'd like to take your business up a notch, take a look at ILead Magazine.
Linda and Mo Hafizi, owners of our Valley's two leading magazines, the Magazine of Santa Clarita and ILead.
I'm so proud of ILead. It allows your advertisement to stand out. We distribute ILead to 50,000 homes and businesses. You'll find us in 1,900 local hotel rooms.
Discover how ILead Magazine can help your business. Call 294-4444.
Superior quality is second nature to us. Just ask our advertisers.
Welcome to Dunkin', where safety is their #1 priority. The staff at Dunkin' has daily temperature checks and goes through a series of current health questions prior to each shift. They have all the necessary PPE, including masks, shields, and gloves. In addition, every store is sanitized several times an hour for your protection. Use the Dunkin' app for specials and to order ahead. Carry-out and curbside pickup is available, or have your order delivered by Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. Dunkin', all-day sandwiches, donuts, bagels, muffins, and of course, hot and cold beverages. Visit Dunkin' on Bouquet, next to Lowe's, or the Dunkin' in Canyon Country on Sierra Highway. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Dunkin'.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley. All right, it is Friday, February 5th. So, let's take a look around and see what happened on this date in history. On February 5th, 1597, there were 26 martyrs killed, Christian martyrs killed in Japan, of all places. That's right, Christianity was a relatively small but growing religion, and after a Spanish shipwreck and some rumors being spread around, the Japanese shoguns got a little bit nervous about the growth of this new religion in town, and they outlawed it and ended up actually crucifying on 26 crosses, 26 Christian leaders there in Japan. And, of course, instantly turning them into martyrs. And they gained a significant amount of fame, not only in Japan, but back in Europe as well. On February 5th, 1778, jumping forward a couple hundred years, the Articles of Confederation were ratified by South Carolina. That's right, the Articles of Confederation. Before we were the United States of America, we were the Confederate States of America. And I know we hear Confederate States of America and we think of the South and the Civil War, but before our Constitution pulled us closer together, our 13 colonies, our 13 states were kind of just loosely organized, but just 13 years later, we realized we needed a little bit stronger central government, wrote the Constitution, and made us the country that we are today. February 5th, 1825, Hannah Lord Montague of New York creates the first detachable shirt collar. Look at me, I'm formal, I'm casual. I'm formal, I'm casual. Way to go, Hannah. February 5th, 1870, the first motion picture was shown to a theater audience in Philadelphia. And that's right, when the movie ended, true to form, local fans booed and threw D-cell-sized batteries at the screen. Way to go, Philadelphia. February 5th, 1919, Baseball's National League president, John Haidler, dismissed charges that Hal Chase not only bet against his own team, but would throw games in collusion with gamblers. Doing nothing was an unpopular decision with fans, so Haidler vowed, hey, the next guy to do it, we're going to throw the book at him and ban him for life, and then he'll never... Yeah. You see that, Patty? That was a Pete Rose joke.
Oof.
February 5th, 1922, Reader's Digest magazine was first published. February 5th, 1930, the fifth Aliyah to Israel began. The concept of Aliyah, the stepping up, is an interesting one. Look it up, Aliyah to Israel. February 5th, 1931, Malcolm Campbell sets the world land speed record of 246.08 miles per hour, driving his famous Bluebird car at Daytona Beach, Florida. And there is no truth to the rumor that Campbell was just trying to get the heck out of Florida. February 5th, 1933, Marinus van der Lubbe passed the Dutch-German boundary on his way to setting fire to the Reichstag. And in a related story, on February 5th, 1982, British-Jamaican band Musical Youth passed the Dutchie on the left-hand side. February 5th, 1953, Peter Pan by Walt Disney opened at the Roxy Theater in New York City. Oddly enough, even though it opened in 1953, the film is still only 14 years old. February 5th, you see that? See, it just won't grow up.
Aww.
Yeah, right? See, there's a lot of dad jokes loaded in here if you listen for them. February 5th, 1989. Possibly, we talked about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, but some folks say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the greatest to ever play basketball. February 5th, 1989, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar became the first NBA player to score 38,000 points. Yeah, 38,000 points. It was an incredible game. The Lakers beat the Supersonics that night, 38,112 to 97. No, he did not score 38,000 points in one game. A total career record of 38,000. Quite a feat, though. Quite a feat. February 5th, 2006, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Seattle Seahawks 21-10 in Super Bowl 40.
Why would you bring that one up to me?
It's just this date in history. I got nothing to do with it, Patty.
Oh, you were sinking your claws in on that one, man.
Let's go Steelers. All righty.
Boo.
And just last year, February 5th, 2020, the U.S. Senate votes to acquit President Donald Trump 52-48 on charges of abuse of power and 53-47 on obstruction of Congress. And President Trump said, yeah, that'll never happen again. And that's what happened on this date in history. Now, don't go away. When we come back, we'll be talking to Jeanne McNiff-Hendzlik. Jeanne, I'm going to get that last name right here. Jeanne is the academic coach, CTE coordinator, and a kindergarten teacher with ILead Online. And I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
At College of the Canyons, we are
an inclusive community,
a family,
a partner,
a leader,
a way forward,
an open door,
an affordable education,
an opportunity for a different tomorrow.
Spring classes begin in February.
The time is now.
The place is here.
Enroll now.
Canyons.edu/schedule.
Mend Cryotherapy is open. As always, they continue to clean and sanitize all equipment. Social distancing will be enforced and hand sanitizer will be provided throughout the facility. Temperature checks will be done daily on each employee, and masks will be provided if forgotten. They have amazing welcome back specials, including the $99 performance package, which includes a cryo session, pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, which boosts recovery of damaged cells, the aromatherapy oxygen bar, Nucom, and infrared sauna. There's also a beauty package with a cryofacial, infrared sauna, and more. And don't forget their extensive selection of health and wellness products, including CBD. Men Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, go to MEND, MEND, cryotherapy.com. MEND Cryotherapy on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting Toyota lineup. Serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
The White House steps on the gas. Lisa Brady, Fox News, aiming to speed up not only COVID vaccinations, but testing. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
Lisa, White House Senior Advisor for COVID Response Andy Slavitt says 6 more companies are ramping up production of at-home COVID testing kits.
With the goal of, by summer, having millions of Americans being able to access at-home tests.
He also announced that the Secretary of Defense is deploying more than 1,000 active duty military personnel to support state vaccination sites. They'll start to arrive in California in the next 10 days to begin work on February 15th with the goal of vaccinating thousands of people a day. Lisa.
Thanks, Tanya. Well, as Congress continues work on COVID relief, President Biden urging lawmakers again to go big.
We can't do too much here. We can do too little. We can do too little and sputter.
In a morning meeting with Democratic lawmakers, pointing to the new jobs report as further evidence of pandemic pain. 49,000 jobs created in January after a loss in December. The unemployment rate dropping to 6.3%, but partly because some people found work and others stopped looking, not because of jobs created. The freshman Republican Congresswoman kicked off House committees over past social media posts, just held a news conference saying she's thankful for being able to speak on the House floor yesterday.
I got to say, I said things wrong. I believe things that were wrong.
In Georgia, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene does say she's sorry for those things, but she also accuses the media of fanning hate by telling lies, adding her time would have been wasted on those committees because she says the Democratic majority isn't listening to Republican concerns. A step closer to ending the death penalty in Virginia, a bill to repeal it just winning final approval in the state House and heading to the governor's desk. America is listening to Fox News.
Some big news. Since Election Day, almost 5 million people have downloaded the free Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. You can trust Newsmax TV. Watch it for free anytime. And go to Newsmax.com for breaking news. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Call your operator if they don't carry it. Plus, watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, TiVo Plus, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
Financial advisors, remember when your job was fun? I'm Ron Kraszewski, CEO of Stifel, and at our firm, it still is fun. Here, you'll find the culture and values of the past, along with the technology and vision of the future. Stifel is a firm built by advisors for advisors, a place where you can better serve your clients and have some fun again in our business. Visit ChooseStifel.com to learn more about the investment firm you've been waiting for.
Day after what amounts to an ultimatum in Chicago, still no agreement between the city and the teachers union for schools to reopen.
A frustrated Mayor Lori Lightfoot said Thursday,
"Time's up. Let's get a deal done."
To get thousands of public school teachers and hundreds of thousands of school kids back to class in person, saying that schools are now safe to make that return.
This is about our kids. It's about our kids. For me, that's the only thing that matters.
As a bitter dispute plays out between the Chicago Teachers Union that says its teachers will not return in person to class until vaccinations, work from home options, and other demands are met. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Transportation Chief Pete Buttigieg adding to the chorus of administration officials urging Congress to pass more COVID relief.
We are supporting additional investment for COVID relief in order to keep workers in their jobs, keep passengers on the rails, and we believe that this is achievable.
Giving his first address as Transportation Secretary from Washington's Union Station. Just 2 days away from the Super Bowl.
Sunday will mark Tom Brady's 10th career appearance in the Super Bowl, his first as a member of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the franchise's first trip to the big game in 18 years. Brady, at 43, set to become the oldest player to ever take the Super Bowl stage, while his head coach, Bruce Arians, will look to become the oldest to win the Lombardi Trophy at the helm at age 68. Meantime, Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid is looking to become the 7th coach in Super Bowl history to win back-to-back titles, while his QB, Patrick Mahomes, can become just the second quarterback to win 2 rings in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. That other quarterback? Tom Brady. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
Back-to-back rallies on Wall Street, although for now, the Dow's now not up quite as much. It's up about 82 points, still over 31,100. The S&P and the NASDAQ also higher. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The latest reading on the job market appears to reinforce concern that it's still under acute stress. There were only 49,000 jobs created in January, a slight improvement after the U.S. lost jobs in December. Schools added employees last month. The unemployment rate declined to 6.3%, but that may indicate people gave up looking. The report makes it more likely there will be more economic stimulus, and stocks have been trading higher. The trade deficit last year rose to its highest level in 12 years. COVID-19 disruptions cut into both imports and exports. Pay service Venmo is being investigated by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau for its debt collection practices. Venmo is a unit of PayPal. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Some big news. Since Election Day, almost 5 million people have downloaded the free Newsmax TV app on their smartphone. You can trust Newsmax TV. Watch it for free anytime. And go to Newsmax.com for breaking news. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Call your operator if they don't carry it. Plus, watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Apple TV, Xumo, TiVo Plus, Pluto, and smart TVs like Samsung and LG. Newsmax is real news for real people. Start watching today.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260 CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
Are you looking for educational flexibility and choice? Look no further than your front door. ILead Exploration's independent study program is passionate about personalized learning. Our mission is to inspire learners to become creative problem solvers, compassionate leaders, conscientious collaborators, and responsible citizens who develop a lifelong love of learning. Our families partner with a credentialed teacher to customize each child's educational path. Families access community partners to choose a variety of in-person, online, and at-home options to create an optimal learning environment for each learner. Our program also values community, and through a variety of field studies, service projects, park days, and family gatherings, we provide many opportunities to foster friendships. Because there are currently in-person limitations due to COVID, we are offering activities online through webinars and virtual field trips. ILead Exploration is a tuition-free, independent study charter school program serving grades TK through 12 in Los Angeles, Orange, Kern, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties. To learn more about our program, visit ileadexploration.org. ILead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Gorgeous Friday on our hands with sunny skies this afternoon. Highs in the low 70s, overnight lows in the low 50s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. I am your host. You're listening to SCVI and ILead Schools' Eye on the Valley. Our next guest is Jeanne McNiff-Hendzlik with ILead Online Charter School. Jeanne has been an educator for 12 years on both coasts of our country. She's worked with students in traditional classrooms as well as outdoor studios and online communities. Jeanne says that as a preschool teacher, she would go home with painted clothes and dirty feet, but with her older students, she often goes home with piles of Post-it notes full of ideas and notable memories. When she's not busy playing with her students, whatever their age may be, she spends her time with her husband, Corey, and their 2 children and their chocolate lab. Jeanne, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm glad you could join us today. So tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you find ILead Online? How did you join the ILead team?
So I spent several years as an educator in California for a amazing nature-based preschool, a little patch of earth. And when I worked there, I connected with many families that were looking for alternative education when they left preschool. So they were, either looking for learning that was unique for their older learners or when their young one was continuing education in elementary grades. And a lot of families chose ILead as one of those directions to go. And so I had built community and connection with some of those families and stayed in touch with them. And when I took the journey of being a mom, of staying at home and taking a little break away from education and coming back to the East Coast, I found a connection through one of the moms, Allison Bravo, who was sharing a position for the Child Development Program through ILead Online. And that was how I started my journey about a year ago as a facilitator for the CTE Child Development Program, which led me to now continuing my journey with them in the younger grades too.
Well, gosh, Allison Bravo, I know her well. She's brought many amazing things to our organization. I'm glad that you could be one of those amazing things. But let's talk first about the school in general before we get into your many roles with the school. I don't know how you find the time in the day. But let's talk about your school, ILead Online. First of all, we think of online schools. I typically think of high schools. So what grades does ILead Online serve?
So ILead Online originally started as like a high school program that grew into grade 3 to 12. And this year, we had the opportunity to grow our program from K to 12. So now we serve students K to 12.
Okay, and so that's kindergarten through 12th grade in a full online program. And for our listeners that are listening, I know they're wondering if they're not familiar with online schools, they may be wondering, yes, we're fully WASC accredited. It's an amazing school with incredible programs, very unique to their level. Some amazing middle school programs. The high school programs, of which Jeanne teaches a little bit, are really exciting. And then the elementary, especially the lower elementary, they've got some great programs. So Jeanne, can you tell us in your perspective what makes ILead Online unique, maybe compared to other virtual schools? Because You know, when I was the upper school director, the high school director at SCVI, some of my learners would take online courses, and they took them with different organizations, and it was hit and miss until we opened up ILead Online. You know, and I was always extremely impressed with how personalized the attention that the learners received was. So what makes ILead Online unique in your perspective?
What I love about ILead Online that makes them unique is, first of all, we know like ILead is kind of known for project-based learning. So that is different and unique in its own way, where it's not this traditional track of learning. Learners get to guide their journey, be a part of decision-making, and solve real-life kind of problems or in-context learning, and they get to help navigate that path. But then with ILead Online, it's even more unique because it is online. And so that you would normally think like, oh, is the learner just logging in and, you know, typing in the discussion board and kind of disconnected from their community. And with ILead Online, that's not the case. I really love how we build community and we customize learning for the learners. And I was a little nervous as an educator from moving as like a hands-on in-person educator to an online educator at first. But what I love about it is that I have never been able to customize curriculum so uniquely to each individual learner. It really does allow you to adjust it so that you meet the learner where they're at, and they get to follow their interests. They get to be a part of the decision-making. You get to make sure that while they're meeting the standards, just like any other program that they would be in, that we're meeting them at their level and helping them get there in a way that is meaningful to them and in context to them and exciting for them and more passion-driven, I feel like, even in kindergarteners all the way up to high schoolers. And so it's a really cool thing that ILead Online gets to provide to learners.
You're absolutely right. My first experience with ILead Online was with one of my high school learners who enrolled in a history course, and this guy, he just, history was not his thing. It didn't matter who the teacher was, what the content was. He just never clicked with history. And all of a sudden, you know, I see him getting A's in his online history class. And I said, you know, hey, what's going on? All of a sudden you're getting A's in history. And he says, yeah, this, he obviously attributed it to the facilitator, his teacher, right? She says, she teaches history the way I learn history. But then when I talked to another kid the next semester, he said, oh, yeah, my facilitator teaches chemistry the way I need to learn chemistry. You're right. It is a very personalized structure. It allows the facilitator to really deliver exactly what our learners need. So now we think of online school, right? So you're at home, you're doing your learning on the computer. So is this the same or is it different? How is it different from just homeschooling?
It's very different from homeschooling. So we do have some families that are homeschooling families, and they can, you know, like you said, take classes and kind of make a hybrid of what they're doing by partnering with ILead Online. But our full-time learners that are in our program aren't just in homeschooling, because we have this unique component of a coach with ILead Online. And so each learner gets someone to guide that learner and that family through the journey. The curriculum is built to meet the standards, so a homeschooling family has to kind of Mod Podge their own curriculum together. We build a foundational curriculum and then adapt it and customize it to the learner. And then we also guide that learner through that with setting goals, with providing support. And we have programs as well to support learners if they need services like OT or speech or just other some social emotional kind of supports in place. And so it's a little bit different from homeschooling, because with a homeschooling family, they're really responsible for gathering their data, providing that work samples that their learners are doing, designing the curriculum. We provide support with the curriculum building, with guiding the learner and meeting their goals and making sure that they reach them, as well as documenting their journey and having that gathered for them.
So that's a very well articulated difference between our homeschool programs and our online program. With our homeschool, you deliver the instruction. We will support you with curriculum or with any other kind of advice, support, as well as instructional funding. But with our online school, your student, your child gets a teacher, and if it's in the middle school, high school ages, a teacher for each different subject area. They also get, like Jeanne said, that academic coach who is kind of that mentor, that person that spurs them on, makes sure that they're not only doing well in their classes, but they're doing well social emotionally, and so they're the person that would check in on them, make sure that they're doing well, and they'll have maybe some of those hard conversations that maybe in our school the advisory facilitator would have. And then our kids also, if they need it, have access to tutors as well. So it's kind of three different people keep an eye on the kids' academic progress, don't they?
Yeah, we do have a tutoring program as well, so any learners that need that support can participate in that. And then facilitators provide what they call like office hours for the older learners, and our younger learners, we call them campfires. So the K-5 program is a little different from our older learners' office hours where they can just pop in. We're there and we're kicking it off with something fun, and it might be a mini teach or community building or something related to the project and adventures they're working in. And we're there to provide that, but then if they have any questions or they want to just check in and connect, they can do that as well during a campfire, and so that is kind of unique, having those office hours every week and those campfires every week for learners provided there. And the older learners, the coaches do that as well, and they're called like Advisory Live, so they get to connect with their coach whenever they need to, in addition to other scheduled meetings and opportunities with them. What I love about our program, like being the kindergarten facilitator and a coach, we actually have this term that one of our leadership members, Emily Evanson, had designed, and she calls it coach-ilitator, because the K-5 program, we are the coach and facilitator. They have this unique connection that we have the scope of helping to guide them, as well as be their facilitator. And that's kind of nice when they're young because they need a lot of social development support, as well as their content is all in one class versus like middle school and high school. They kind of diverge and customize their classes with facilitators that meet that content area. But with the younger learners, we get to be that same person, that kind of catch-all support system, as well as that teacher facilitator role. It lets us build really deep connections with the learners. And I just really love that role because it's something that reminds me of like primary caregiving with young learners. You think of that only happening like as them being like babies or preschoolers. And ILead Online provides this for learners throughout their entire journey. They have that support. We don't abandon learners into kind of being on their own. They still have that like caretaking role combined with education, which I think often gets forgotten once they get pushed out of like preschools and things like that. We forget how much support they need in all realms of being a whole child.
Wow. And so you talk about all kinds of academic, social, emotional support, and you've got all these different people making sure that the learning is customizable. It's, just this full blanket approach to providing the best quality education possible in an online setting. I'm about to lob you a meatball here, Jeanne. Are you ready for it? This is one of our FAQs that I love answering. So how much does a program like this cost our families?
For our learners, it's free. We do have vendor options for those that are not like our full-time learners, but our full-time ILead Online Charter School learners, the program is free.
That's right. That's a lot of people ask me not only about our online program, but our even our site-based charter schools. They ask, what's the tuition? Charter schools are free public schools. We're funded exactly the way your local district school is funded. Well, there's a little difference here and there, but we'll worry about that. As far as families are concerned, it's a free public school with, again, all this service. But, you know, when you think about it, it's not hard to understand. An online school doesn't have to worry about the plumbing, right? They don't have to worry about keeping a large building in shape. And so they're able to invest in some really, like I said, hands-on, high-quality education for your kids. And Jeanne, you mentioned that we also do have some programs that kids can take classes part-time if they're attending another school, and that does come with a fee. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But talking about our full-time learners, if our families are listening, what neighborhood do I have to live in? What are if you're a public school, what are the boundaries of enrollment? Because you're fully online, so I don't have to worry about driving my kid to your school or putting them on a bus or worrying about carpool. So geographically, who can enroll in ILead Online?
ILead Online for our full-time learners. We serve Los Angeles County, San Bernardino, Kern, Ventura, and Orange County. So if you're in those counties, you're eligible to enroll as a full-time learner with ILead Online.
Fantastic. So almost anybody here in the Southland. So you also discussed vendor options, and there's a couple of things about the vendor options versus the full-time options. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break here, and we'll get into that on the other side. We're here with Jeanne McNiff-Hendzlik with ILead Online Charter School. They've got so many different programs and offerings for kids. Again, kindergarten through 12th grade. And if you're thinking, you know what, I've got a first grader and they couldn't handle an online program, you're probably wrong. I bet they could. We'll talk more about it when we come back. You are listening to SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
KHTS strives to give the Santa Clarita Valley all the information they need. And when our computers aren't working the way they should, we call Resurgence, your true source for IT. Resurgence provides outstanding customer service while also providing the highest technical ability. They strive to do what's best to improve and protect your business. For more information on Resurgence, call 349-4114 or visit resurgenceit.com.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Santa Clarita Valley residents now have greater access to the excellent physicians and high-quality medical services for which Providence Holy Cross is known. Providence Holy Cross Health Center in Santa Clarita features state-of-the-art cancer and imaging technologies, as well as board-certified physicians in a variety of medical specialties. Quality and compassion from a healthcare provider you can depend on. For more information, call 1-888-HEALING or visit us at providence.org.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station. 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley, and I am your host, Matt Watson. This morning, I am fortunate enough to be talking with Jeanne McNiff-Hendzlik with ILead Online Charter School, and this is the first time, but it's not going to be the last time we talk to Jeanne. She is a great guest. She laughs at all my stupid jokes, and I'm loving it. So, Jeanne, before the break, we were talking about how you guys are a fully comprehensive, full-service, high-quality kindergarten through 12th grade online school that is completely free of charge, and pretty much anyone in the Southland here can enroll. Basically, if you live in the LA County or a county that touches Los Angeles, you're allowed to enroll in ILead Online, and it is a free public charter school with just great personalized learning for each one of our students. But there are some kids out there, it's tough, although, well, I was going to say, it's tough to have like an online baseball team, although unfortunately this last year, that's basically the only sports our high schoolers have been playing is online. But there are some kids that prefer a site-based option, but they love the fact that they can also access your courses on a part-time basis. And I'll give our listeners an example. When I went to high school, we had two options for foreign language. You could choose French or Spanish. And I had tons of classmates that said, oh, I want to learn Japanese, or I want to learn Mandarin, or I'd like to learn American Sign Language as my foreign language. But our school just didn't have the infrastructure, even though there were 2,000 of us. They didn't have the infrastructure to offer those. With an online school, we can offer those things because we don't need more than a couple of learners to make it economically feasible to teach a course. So, Jeanne, can you talk about the difference between full-time learners and the vendor options and what options we have? How does that work? How can I take just one class with ILead Online or a couple of classes?
So with ILead Online, if you enroll as a full-time learner, we are your public school.
Right.
But then there's other families, whether they're homeschooling families or families that are partnering and looking, like you said, looking for that extra class that can meet their need. Whatever it is that they just want to take a couple classes, they can go on our website and purchase a class. So they can go to ileadonline.org, and we have the course catalog there where they can go check out and see what we have. And so for my program, what that means is that the K through 5th graders can go on and choose adventures. We call them adventures. And they pick 2 adventures for the quarter and purchase it. So for a quarter worth of classes, which is about 40 days of adventures and 2 separate projects worked into there, is $295. And so they can go on there and purchase that and engage in the program and the curriculum that's provided. They get facilitator support. They get to engage in the curriculum. They get feedback on any assignments and work that they kind of hand in and projects that they do. And then they also get to be a part of the community. Like I said, we do these community campfires. So if they hop on, they get to be a part of the games we play or the mini teaches or the stories that we do or little project-based challenges that we do on our campfires. They get to hop on and build community with other learners. And so as a vendor, they have that option. And then with the older learners, the same thing. They get access to that curriculum and facilitator support, and then they can hop in on facilitator office hours. Our full-time learners, the unique part we talked a little bit about before, that they get that coach support. So that catch-all support that helps guide and plan your journey and customize the learning and link you with the other benefits of our program comes for full-time learners. But our vendors can go on to ILead Online and purchase a class and jump into the curriculum.
And I love how you refer to some of those offerings for our younger ones as adventures because, yes, it is academic learning. The kids are learning and growing and learning all the things that they would learn in any other kindergarten, first grade, second grade. and you also make it fun and exciting, and for the kids it doesn't feel like they're sitting at a desk doing their work. They're on these adventures, and it's project based, it's play based. They're not stuck to a computer all day. A lot of your curriculum involves getting them outside and looking at flowers or observing bugs or getting their hands literally dirty in the mud and things like that.
Yeah.
And you say they're 40-day adventures. There's another shameless meatball coming your way here, Jeannie. 40 days. I'm thinking, we're in the middle of winter now, but spring's coming, and right after spring is summer. And summer vacation at my traditional public school is, well, gosh, that's about 40 days, isn't it? So do you guys operate during the summertime that families could use that as a great way of keeping the learning going? I know families worry about kids falling back behind and forgetting things in the summertime. Do you guys still operate in the summertime?
We do. We have Track C offerings that we call it Track C, so that when you log in and pick curriculum for the summer, some of our high school or middle school learners will do it to customize, catching up on classes or trying to get a unique elective under their belt, especially maybe we are talking about vendors. So maybe there's a learner who didn't want to take on that extra class during their regular in-person public school journey, but they really just wanted their foreign language to be Mandarin or something else. And so they could take that during the summer and then have that added in to their educational journey and partner it with what program they're working with. But then our other learners can take fun adventures as well. So we had this past summer very play-based, very nature-based experiences, but for example, the K through second graders had access to engage in a class called Junk Debunked. And it was all about Earth and recycling and learning about being a planet protector. And doesn't seem, like you said, doesn't seem like this hard, rigorous curriculum, even though they're learning and engaging and actually gaining a lot from the experience. It's a little bit different from what we offer in the fall, with the fall, school year. The Adventures has the campfire component. They get an adventure box of support materials. So our K through 3 learners actually get a box of project-based materials to support them with fall and spring semester. But they can still take some fun summer offerings as well.
Very cool. So I was going to say, let's talk about your roles, but you already started getting into it. You do so much, and you've got kind of 3 major roles with ILead Online. The first is as a kindergarten facilitator, and you already started talking about how kindergarten through 3rd grade works. But can you share a little bit more about this? Because I'm thinking, as a first grade, parents of a first grade or second grade child, what can they learn? They need to have their hands on their learning at that age. Well, I would argue at all ages. So having them learn just on the computer isn't going to work for my kid. But like I said before, it's not just on the computer. How does it work for your kids in kindergarten and very similar in 1st and 2nd grade?
With our primary grades, our adventures, and, I have that unique experience of working with kindergartners. We know that developmentally, kindergartners should still be playing and doing hands-on learning, right? We don't want them to be in front of a screen all day. And I think it's a huge topic right now because of our unique situation as a nation. We're seeing young learners being put in front of the screen for hours from other programs that just didn't have the know-how to make that shift quickly. Yep. We are unique in that we are an online program that has the know-how on how to do that. And when the program was developed and continues to grow, so we grew into K through 2 this year, and when we developed the curriculum, we wanted it to meet how young learners learn, and we wanted to be developmentally appropriate and engaging, but still meet their needs. So the courses are built with a scope of what they need to know and the standards and the things that they need to grasp. And then, of course, we customize the journey and meet the learner's needs. But the online component is really the learner with the support of a helper. It could be a parent or guardian or whoever their, helper is, to help them get on that platform. And there are some things that they engage in online, but most of it is getting on there and seeing what the project is that they're going to work on or what the skill they're going to work on, and they actually get off the screen. And so if they're working on a literacy or math skill, they might be taking a scavenger hunt and looking for 3D shapes around their home, or going on a sight word scavenger hunt or something like that. They might be taking their project work and taking their adventure notebook outdoors and making observational sketches, and then they're handing in a photo or video of their work to document their journey, still engaging in really rich literacy and math and whatever other content areas are there, hopping onto a campfire with a learning community, and we're all on Zoom and, exploding elephant toothpaste off of our kitchen tables together, or making fairy tale, muffins for, like, our fairy tale adventures that we've been in. And so it's a lot of hands-on engaging learning, and then each adventure how I was talking about, like they're like 20-day kind of blocks for each adventure, kind of wraps up with a big adventure culminating project. And so their big adventure culminating project is planned by them, it's guided by them, it's supported by the content that they've learned in their adventure, but they get to decide what they create in connection with that adventure. And then it's hands-on. They're building something or they're making something. I've had kids make stop-motion Lego creations or clay masterpieces, box fire trucks. I've had them go out and give video tours of, like, art sculpture gardens and things like that. And so they're out there doing, engaging, playing, and documenting their journeys, all while weaving in learning.
Gosh, it sounds so exciting. I really wish this option was available when my kids were younger, because there's so many parents that would say, I just can't homeschool my kid. I can't teach my kid. Well, with ILead Online, even if they're in kindergarten, you don't have to teach them, but being part of this program will bring you and your child even closer together as you guys enjoy these adventures together. But I've got a huge kind of but in there. But, Jeannie, what about the socialization? I'm sure you get this question all the time. It brings me and my kid closer together, but do they have an opportunity to interact with other children?
Yes, they do. And it's a little bit different. It is an online platform, so it might not be the same as walking into a live classroom and having that hands-on touch experience they need to play with other learners. But there's many ways that our learners find pathways to that. We do our Zoom meetings at our campfires, and they get to connect socially, and there's a lot of social connection during those. And that sometimes is a struggle for parents and adults to grasp, because we want them to be learning, and we're so used to, we grew up where you did your schoolwork, so your teacher time was like learning very directed. Right. And when you hop in a campfire, it's very playful, very community-based. The learners get time to share their ideas and socialize with each other just as much as they might have like a story or a mini teach happening during it. And then we have other outlets as well. We partner with our other ILead schools for like lunch bunches that they can hop in on. We have large community events. So like we've done the fall and the winter. We did Zooms for a fall fest and a winter fest, and learners in the primary grades could hop on and engage in like a science experiment with others or an art experience or something like that. So it builds community in that way. And then sometimes learners are close in proximity to each other, and they figure that out, and they have partnered up to build connections. So I actually have 2 learners in my program that, because of the situation we're in, with the nation and being safekeepers and keeping everyone safe and healthy, they're doing virtual play dates, but they are like actually connecting and building connections outside in the community as well from connecting with each other inside an ILead Online and meeting each other during campfires. Of course, if we were in a different time, they could make that connection live.
They'd be meeting at the park, and yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So just like a typical site-based classroom, your kids are making friends in their class, and if it's geographically feasible, they're going to each other's birthdays and things like that. Now, Jeanne, one of the coolest things, because as a teacher, I always struggled, I've taught the younger ones, I've taught the older ones. When I teach the younger ones, I miss my high schoolers. When I teach the high schoolers, I miss my younger ones. But you get to teach both, don't you? You also teach a career and technical education pathway. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What do you teach and who do you teach?
Yeah, so I also do the CT Child Development Program. So I teach high school students who are interested in being in the child development field, whether that's, a future teacher, a future director of a program, a child care provider, play worker, play therapist, whatever, they're interested in. They have this unique opportunity with ILead Online to take career-specific courses. I remember as a high school student that being very rare. And if you did, it was like the advanced English or math class, But with ILead Online, we have a CTE program. And there's more than just child development. There's fields with animation and criminal justice and all sorts of different pathways that if high school students are interested, they can hop in and take courses that are customized to a career path they're interested in. And so I have the privilege of working with high school students that want to be in the early childhood field and not only working with my kindergartners, but also supporting and fostering this, passion for education and potential early childhood educators someday.
Fantastic. So you're not only exciting for you that you get to work with the littles as well as the high schoolers, but exciting for the high schoolers as well that they have all these different career options that they can choose and start to learn about and get their feet wet with in high school rather than having to wait until they get into college before they or beyond high school, whatever path they choose. They can get involved in this. So, Jeanne, this is really exciting. Again, I know a lot of my listeners are wondering how their families can enroll. So where do they go to sign up to enroll in, again, free public online charter school, kindergarten through 12th grade?
ILeadOnline.org. There's an Enroll Here tab for them to get on our list for enrollment. And then there's the course catalog tab available for anyone interested in being a vendor.
Fantastic. ILeadOnline.org, and producer Sarah has dropped that link in the chat on our Facebook live feed. Jeanne, one last question for you. Who have you got in the Super Bowl this weekend?
I'm horrible. I am not a football fan. the most football that I play is with my 3-year-old out in the yard.
All right.
I actually have the unique experience of I grew up in Buffalo, New York. So for a little while, I guess you could say I was paying attention to the Buffalo Bills, but they just kind of fell out of their placement just before the Super Bowl. So if I participate in the Super Bowl, it'll be for snacks and commercials.
There you go. Like probably about half of the people watching the Super Bowl. Fantastic. Well, Jeanne, we want to thank you so much for joining us today. It's got some exciting things going on there at ILead Online. We appreciate you calling in. You have a terrific weekend, okay?
Thank you.
Of course. And when we come back, it's everybody's favorite segment. We're going to have fun with Big T. This is SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley. I'm your host, Matt Watson, and this is your hometown station, KHTS.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themainnewhall or @themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
Consumers Furniture is back open for your business. The safety of our community and our staff, above all, is most important to us. We will provide a safe and clean environment for you to find the perfect piece of furniture for your home. To help you with your purchase, we are offering 25% off your entire order or 24 months same as cash financing. And for our awesome essential workers, we will deliver locally your furniture free of charge. Consumers Furniture is located in the Centerpoint Shopping Center below Sam's Club and Walmart.
Welcome to Dunkin', where safety is their #1 priority. The staff at Dunkin' has daily temperature checks and goes through a series of current health questions prior to each shift. They have all the necessary PPE, including masks, shields, and gloves. In addition, every store is sanitized several times an hour for your protection. Use the Dunkin' app for specials and to order ahead. Carry out and curbside pickup is available, or have your order delivered by Grubhub, Postmates, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. Dunkin', all-day sandwiches, donuts, bagels, muffins, and of course, hot and cold beverages. Visit Dunkin' on Bouquet, next to Lowe's, or the Dunkin' in Canyon Country on Sierra Highway. The Santa Clarita Valley runs on Dunkin'.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVI and ILead Schools Eye on the Valley. It is a 2-hour show, but my parents refused to listen to any of it until I put my big brother on. That's right. It is time. I'd like to welcome Mom and Dad in. It is time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Big T, you know him. He is a longtime resident and a leader in the Santa Clarita Valley. Big T is a business leader. He's a philanthropist. Big T is the quintessential family man and community member. And this weekend, he's got $50 on Tampa Bay and 50 Chiefs on Kansas City. You see what I did there? He is Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome back, brother man.
That is awful.
Get it, Bucks, BECCS.
Yes, good news. Good news, bad news. Good news is Mom's been listening all morning. Bad news is Dad did text me to find out what time my show starts.
Oh.
So Matt, today we're going to mix it up. We've been having a lot of fun with trivia, but being that the Super Bowl is this Sunday, I've got some Super Bowl fun facts. I've got some Super Bowl advice for football fans as well as non-football fans. Okay. Non-football fans that may have a football fan in the household, and then a little trivia at the end kind of mixed in. Can I get rolling?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Instead of 5 minutes, we're going to give you about 6 today, Big T.
Oh, wow. Let me not waste that minute. Super Bowl Sunday is the second biggest day of the year in food consumption in the United States. You know what the busiest is, the first?
My birthday.
No, that would be when you and I went to that buffet at the Rio, Matt. No, it's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Normally, Americans spend about $50 million on food the 4 days before Super Bowl. Now, I'm saying normally. We're in COVID times. We don't know yet. Normally, beer sales will increase by about $17 million during Super Bowl week. Yep. Super Bowl's the biggest pizza day of the year, pizza sales. Mm-hmm. Domino's expects to sell about 9 million slices of pizza, or 50% more than on any normal Sunday.
Wow.
Pizza delivery drivers, they'll log about 4 million miles. They also expect their tips to jump from the average of $2 up to $20 on Super Bowl Sunday. That's good money.
If I'm driving 4 million miles, you better be tipping big.
Right. Pizza delivery drivers also report more accidents to insurance companies on Super Bowl Sunday.
Hey.
Got to get it there before halftime.
Drive safe out there, fellas.
There's 67% more pizza consumed on Super Bowl than on any average day, and 90% more beer consumed on Super Bowl Sunday than any average day. Now, Matt, this is just for you. Normally, we call it Super Bowl Sunday,
right?
But this year, because of the halftime show, it's the whole weekend.
Oh. I get it, because the weekend's perfect. Okay.
So this is the first time in 37 years that Budweiser has not had a Super Bowl commercial. Not sure why yet. Maybe COVID, I'm not sure. But since 2006, they've spent $482 million on Super Bowl ads. But again, no Budweiser, No Coca-Cola, no Pepsi, no Hyundai, but Doritos will still represent.
Wow, but the Big Four is sitting this one out. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
12% of Americans will be watching the game by themselves. Matt, no, didn't mean to make fun of you, but...
Well, it's nice to know that I'll have company and not having company.
Exactly. 1 out of every 12 people watching the Super Bowl will be suffering through the boring parts of football just so they can get to the commercials.
Like our last guest, Jeanne.
Well, and Matt, hey, I got some tips for some of the people like Jeanne that aren't necessarily football fans.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl is on January 7th. Valentine's Day is on January 14th, the very next Sunday. Oh. So if you're a football fan and your significant other goes all out because you're not probably going to a Super Bowl party, you better do the same for them on Valentine's Day, just a week later. And if you have a football fan at home and you're not necessarily a football fan, go all out for them. It's going to be a little tough for us that are used to going to Super Bowl parties. They're big deals. They really are. But ask who they're rooting for, wear the same colors they're wearing, ask about their football memories when they grew up, who they think the greatest football player of all time is, sit next to them during the game. Just listen. Just listen. They'll talk. Go all out with food, and trust me, they'll reciprocate on Valentine's Day.
There we go, and I'll issue a challenge. If it's going to be just the two of you, let's see if you can get 4 ounces of 7-layer dip.
Exactly. So, Matt, antacid sales increased by 20% or more on the Monday after Super Bowl.
Well, yeah.
Other than St. Patrick's Day, there's more drivers involved in alcohol-related accidents on Super Bowl Sunday.
Well, let's hope that that's not true this year, right? We're all safer at home for many reasons.
Yep. They call the Super Bowl the big game, but it's actually the second most watched sporting event in the world. The first is Champions League soccer.
Oh, wow.
The Champions Final.
All right.
Matt, Super Bowl 1, the Packers and the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
You know that there's no network footage or air tapes of Super Bowl 1 at all?
So I can't go back and watch Super Bowl 1?
No.
Wow.
Reportedly, it was taped over with a soap opera. True story.
Shut up. I thought that was just an Everybody Loves Raymond episode.
Oh, man. Right. Every year, more than 700,000 footballs are made for official NFL use, and 72 of them are set aside for the Super Bowl. That used to be a number around 65, but they added a few extra deflated ones just for TB12.
All right.
Hey, I love my man. I love my man, TB12.
Right.
35% of the people who attend the game this year are actually going to write it off as a corporate expense.
That's not a bad idea,
Buccaneers'
Patty.
second Super Bowl.
Yes.
Yep, it's the Buccaneers' second Super Bowl, the Chiefs' fourth Super Bowl, and it's the first time that a team has a home field advantage.
First time, that's right.
Win or lose, it makes a little bit of a difference. Certainly, they're all playing for pride, but last year in the Super Bowl, the 49ers as losers, each person received $62,000 in bonus money, but the Chiefs as winners, they received twice that, $124,000 each.
There we go.
This year there's reduced fan capacity, and this is kind of cool. Stadium's at 30% capacity, so they're letting in 22,000 people. So 14,500 are paid fans. Go ahead.
So kind of like a Chargers game.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
30% capacity. So 22,000 fans coming in, 14,500 are paying fans, and there are 7,500 vaccinated healthcare workers that will be let in for free.
Fantastic. Give it up for the
That's
heroes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep. This year, Matt, we have a first. Sarah Thomas will be the first ever female referee to referee in a Super Bowl game.
All right. And, she's fantastic. She's a great referee.
She is. And, of course, true to fashion, she's getting paid 30% less than the male. I'm just kidding. Oh. Big T likes to stir the pot.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Equal pay for equal work.
So, here's a little bit more advice. If you're a non-football fan and you're watching the football game with maybe some family members, some brothers, your father, your husband, that may not like or that is a big football fan, and you don't want to go all out and cater to them and you want to mess with them a little bit, just have a little bit of fun during the game. Just arbitrarily, just kind of holler out, hey, did they just switch from zone to man-on-man? or who'd they bring in at nickel? Where's the A gap?
There we go.
Honey, who's this check down receiver? Are they in cover two? Because let me tell you, most football fans will not know this, but they won't tell you they won't know it. They will stare at the screen until they figure it out.
And you can also do what Uncle Bob used to love to do, wait until a couple of people look away from the screen and then shout, fumble!
Yes. So this year in the stadium, even though it's reduced capacity, it is a cash-free stadium for the first time ever.
Oh.
Cash-free transactions only. Number one, it's safer, and number two, they've found out that you spend 25% more if it's a cashless transaction.
Oh, well, yeah, because it's not real money. Hey,
Yep.
Big T, that music's telling me we got to go.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll talk more about it off the air. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to my guests, Ivan Volshenk. Oh, I messed it up, Peter. Patty. Peter Warda from the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce. Jeanne McNiff-Hendzlik with ILead Online. And, of course, my ace, Big T. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVI and ILead Schools' Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.